Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council for March 24th, 2011 to order at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Here.
Lewinsky.
Here.
Work.
Here.
Bonsino.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Will everyone please rise for a prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask you to bless our meeting, which we trust to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and plant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Whereas Chapter 231, the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey, requires the commencement of each meeting as stated by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements of this meeting have been met by publishing an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2011. Anyone who is now watching on cable, anyone here in the audience, the cable channel 77 will be airing this meeting, and that's on Tuesday at 12 noon, Thursday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 11 a.m. Or you can watch it on the web at www.elmwoodparknj.us.
Mayor, this evening, under the approval of minutes, we have the regular meeting of March 3rd, 2011, and the executive session meeting of March 10th, 2011.
May I have a motion for both of them?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Castiglia, second. I guess we don't want to approve the minutes, right?
I'll second.
Second.
Second, thank you, Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, excuse me.
Yes.
I have to abstain. I missed the meeting on the 3rd and the 10th due to business travel.
Okay.
And Mayor, I am abstaining on the 10th.
Okay, you have that, Keith? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Cherwinsky.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Abstain.
Motion carries.
I was just-
Mayor, this evening under resolutions, we have Resolution R92-11, introduce ordinance 11-5 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend, Supplement, and Revise the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, New Jersey regarding adult entertainment uses, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 3rd, 2011, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Amend, Supplement, and Revise the Code of the Borough of Elmwood Park, New Jersey regarding adult entertainment uses pass on final reading. Mayor will need to open this up to the public.
May I have a motion open to the public, please?
Moved.
Catamagna, second. Bonsino, discussion, all in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone who wishes to be heard on this ordinance indicating that we are now supplying an area of our community for adult entertainment store. No one wishes to be heard? I'll close the public portion of the meeting. May I have a motion on the second reading of this ordinance?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Catamagna, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Cherwinsky.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 93-11, introduce ordinance 11-06 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Exceed the Municipal Budget Appropriations Limits and to establish a cap bank as per NJSA 40A:4-45.14, and whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, March 3rd, 2011, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting, and whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Exceed the Municipal Budget Appropriation Limits and to establish a cap bank as per NJSA 40A:4.45 14, pass on final reading. Again, Mayor, we'll need a motion to open to
Motion
the
open
public.
up to the public, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy? Second.
Catania.
Mr. Work? All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Anyone in the public who wishes to be heard on this ordinance? This allows us to have a cap bank with the 2% cap so we can put money aside if we need it for next year. No one wish to be heard? I'll close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance, please?
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catania.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chewinski.
Yes.
Work.
yes,
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening, under the consent agenda resolutions, we have Resolution 94-11, payment of bills, Resolution 95-11, confirmation of checks, Resolution 96-11, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 97-11, approve amendment, to the budget for the appropriations for 2011. That is essentially an extension of the temporary budget until we adopt. Resolution 98-11, approve application for funding under the Safe and Secure Communities Program. That's a grant relative to the police department. Resolution 99-11, liquor license transfer for a change of corporate structure for the Boulevard Diner Corp. Resolution 100-11, approve stipulation of settlement for 465 Boulevard Associates LLP. Resolution 101-11, authorize AboveNet Communications to install communications facilities in the borough of Elmwood Park.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Castiglia, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call for the consent agenda, council members Catania.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chewinski.
Yes.
Work.
yes,
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 102-11, whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park did receive bids for the Kip Avenue Infrastructure Improvements, Section 3, on February 15, 2011. The bids are as listed. Whereas the Borough has received a Bergen County Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $183,982.00, as well as $25,863 in funds remaining from prior Bergen County Community Development Block Grants money for prior grants for the Kip Avenue project. Whereas the Borough Engineer and the Borough Attorney have reviewed the bids and has recommended that the project be awarded to Revex Contracting Corp. for the base and alternate bid in the amount of $242,717.40. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that Revex Contracting Corporation of Harrison, New Jersey, be and is hereby awarded the project for the Kip Avenue Infrastructure Improvement, Section 3, for the aforementioned base bid and alternate bid in the amount of $242,717.40.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
second,
Mr. Work, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, this is to do some work on the water pipe that goes on Kip Avenue, and then to repave that portion of Kip Avenue. And the money comes from community development. That's federal money that's given to the county, that then is allocated to the various towns within the districts that they have, and they have 5 different districts. So we're getting $242,000 to fix that road. I have some, I hope it's not going to be sad news in relation to something like this, but we were supposed to have a meeting this evening with community development to see if we can get additional money for next year, and the meeting was canceled, and when I called today, they said the next meeting will be sometime in April before we find out what the allocation is for the Central District of Community Development, and then how much Elmwood Park would receive. I say I hope it's not bad news, because the federal government, Congress, has been reviewing this, and they may cut back on some of that money, and we may get a lot less for our community next year. But at least we have this in for this year. Call roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catania.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chewinski.
Yes.
Work.
yes,
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening, under applications for raffle licenses, we have the American Legion Bingo application, the American Legion Instant Raffle application, the St. Leo's Tricky Tray application, the St. Leo's 50/50 application, the St. Leo's 50/50 Big Bucks allocation, the Gilbert Avenue Home and School Association Tricky Tray application, and the Gilbert Avenue Home and School Association 50/50 application.
May I have a motion to approve those, please?
So move.
Mr. Castiglia, Mr. Caramagna?
Second.
Second, Mr. Valensino. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So
Mayor, this evening under departmental reports, we have the Department of Public Works, the Purchasing Department, and the Health Department.
motion to receive and file.
So move.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Work, discussion, all in favor? Opposed? So ordered.
Aye.
Committee reports, who wants to go first? Mr. Caramagna?
It's okay. Thank you, Mayor. The Board of Education had the meeting on March 22nd, they voted on the budget. And, they come up with zero increase in the budget. But let me tell you, there's a lot of changes here, a lot of things took place. Mr. Castillo was there presently. The teacher contract will expire this year, June 30th. So it'll be a negotiation over there. I'm not going to read all of it, just to give you a little bit, some information. There will be an increase of 50 students next year. Would be 14 in elementary schools and 36 high school. And what may be eliminated? Maybe courtesy busing, athletic programs, instructional programs, and technology. That's maybe, And then talk about the total tax levy for the year 2011, 2012.
Excuse me, they say may be eliminated busing?
Well, those maybe. This is if those that we have,
If the budget fails, that's what they're going to eliminate?
I assume
Mayor,
that's
the
what
budget
they-
can't fail, it's zero. How can it fail if it's a 0% increase?
Yeah.
I-
Well, let me finish this, Mayor, this way.
Okay.
I'm confused.
Well, just want to give you an outline here. The budget surplus for the year 2010, 2011 was zero, and the projected budget would be also zero for the year 2011 to 12. Now we talk about the heavy stuff, yes, staff reduction. There would be 11 positions eliminated. They talk about 4 secretary positions, maintenance, maybe 1 or 2, bus drivers and utility persons, 1 or 2, administrators, 1 position, central office support, 1 position, custodian, 1 position. Then we go to the other stuff. 24 other positions will be eliminated. There will be staff reduction, librarian, media specialist, 2 positions will be eliminated, counselors, 1 position, art and music teacher, 2 positions, foreign language teacher, 2 positions, business teacher, 1
It
position.
doesn't include you, does it, Frank?
I know, I'm shaking. And then the lunch monitors, 10 position will be eliminated. Now, the language I already found out, they will eliminate the kind in middle school. That bothers me a lot. I worked very hard to make this program a good program, and we have really. When I started teaching over there, we had about 3 classes, small classes. Now we have 10 classes altogether, middle school and us.
And they're
And
gonna
also we
eliminate-
eliminated the Spanish, 1 Spanish program in the elementary school. And, this budget, I'm not happy with this. But if that's what has to be done, I don't think we have any control over this. But I hope things will get better, the economy gets better, because eliminating anything in education, it's terrible. Because really, we rely on education. I think education is very important. It can make us competing with the rest of the world, because we have a lot of reports that many people in the other parts of the world, they do excellent in math and everything else. Anyhow, I wish them the best, and I guess if they go for 0, that means some people are going to lose their jobs. 35 positions will be eliminated altogether.
And they're getting 50 new students next year.
50 new students. Okay, Mayor, that's all I have for now.
Thank you.
There was a comment about the left turn on Gilbert to the river.
Yeah.
Maybe this the timing is too small.
Absolutely.
People able to read it.
Can't see it?
They can see it, I don't know, this was another comment somebody made.
I
The hours that allow you to make the left.
Probably.
I haven't seen the sign.
I haven't seen it.
But the sign says no left turn, you know, maybe it will confuse people now. Maybe no left turn forever.
Well, it's
whatever.
different, so I imagine people have to get used to it too, so.
Well, what do you call, the writing is kind of small. All right.
Oh,
Maybe
we'll look
we
at it.
change the sign, what the-
I happened to go by at, I think it's no right turn, no left turn, 3 to 4 or something like that, or 2 to 3, whatever the hours
Yeah.
are. And I was there at that time, and I waited for 2 buses and 2 cars to make left turns on the River Road. So I made a right turn, and then I had to go up and go around Washington Avenue and go around again. But the time is quite small. I guess when you read it one time, you're going to
Yeah,
remember.
when you go fast, I read, you know. And also, Mayor, to answer to you, if I lose my job, I'm certified Italian, Spanish, ESL. My job is secure.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Chewinski?
Can I just ask you a quick question,
Yeah.
please? I'm sorry, Councilman Kenneback, in that report, did you say that there's going to be 0% increase to the tax levy?
No, I didn't say that. I
Oh,
said
sorry.
that the tax levy is about 28 million with a cap, I guess. Right. 28 million, $29,707 with a cap, 2% cap.
Did they say how much more over the tax levy they're going over from last year?
I don't know.
And I'm sorry, they may cut busing out?
Well, they say that maybe will be
I'm a
maybe
little
eliminated, maybe eliminated will be courtesy buses.
I mean, it's obviously, unfortunately, I didn't make some of the meetings that the superintendent held. I'm surprised to hear about, and I'm not, you're just reporting what they said at the meeting.
I'll report to you, everything is here. So-
Yeah, no, I understand you're just reporting the highlights. I'm a little nervous about the athletic portion. They're taking over the bomber program, and it's going to be for free. Right now that we all know, the Bombers here in town have an excellent history of a program, and now children will be able to play for free. If I had children, I do have children, but I would encourage my son then, hey, go play, it's for free. That is, right now, the Bombers' budget runs about $40,000 to $45,000 a year. So if they're going to cut athletics, how could they take over the Bomber program and take all that responsibility? And then you're going to cut administration after you just hired a whole bunch of administration. You're going to cut a janitor. I think we're paying for a janitor now to go to school.
Black Seal.
Interesting
Yeah,
stuff.
but
I guess
now-
I got to get to the meetings.
Thing is, if you don't have the money,
Yeah.
I mean, here I am, take the governor's side. If you don't have the money, how you gonna pay people?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Frank.
Mr. Chewinski?
Yes, Mayor. As a liaison to the JIF Insurance Fund, I attended their awards breakfast Wednesday. Borough of Elmwood Park received an achievement award for their lost time accident frequency rate, which went down. So we got a $1,000 check from them. Okay. Just on that note, though, Rochelle Park had no accidents, so I sort of stressed with the fund managers, is, wait a minute, guys, they only have 7,000 people there, and we have 17,000 people.
20.
20,
New
well,
census.
18 rep
Yeah.
change,
New
and now another 50. We got also, they don't have a full-time DPW. They only have 3 DPW workers on staff. So I said, how could we compare? We have 17, 18 on our crew, and we do everything. But needless to say, that was my argument. On the fire department level, all their generators now have service contracts. The new recruits, remember we used to go through the 90-day process where you rushed to get the applications through? They changed it to 120 days now to make it easier for the new applicants. And being that our physicals are so extensive right now, the fire department has agreed not to do any physicals until all the paperwork is done, the background checks, because they had 1 or 2 that they did physicals on, and when the background check came in, needless to say, they couldn't apply. So they're going to forego the physicals as late as they can now, because they realize how extensive and costly they've been to us. They attended on Saturday, this past Saturday, they had a FEMA OEM drill at the Meadowlands with 6 other departments for catastrophic circumstances, and our fire department did attend. On another note, I did attend the Bergen County Freeholders Wednesday night. They're looking at a 0% increase on their end, so they're working very hard up there, and I hope we can do the same.
Good.
And one more thing, I know the Chamber of Commerce was here Wednesday, I missed, but I think Tom will touch on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Mayor, this is going to be brief. I got a little throat thing going on. We have 2 tanks, underground storage tanks in town. One is over on the corner of Market and the Boulevard, and another one is under the pump station over on Gilbert Avenue. Those are going to be removed. The work should be starting as soon as the weather breaks. The lowest bid was a contractor called T-Slack was the name of the contractor. The bid went for $9,860 to have those 2 tanks removed. Also, work on the Van Riper culvert had stopped back when the weather got bad in the beginning of the winter. So that's going to be continuing also when the weather breaks. A couple of reminders. Again, with the recycling, April 3rd is coming up pretty soon now. If you have any old tires around the yard you want to get rid of, or electronic waste, it's got to go over to the Bergen Community Services Building, 327 East Ridgewood Ave. The garbage companies are going to take this stuff anymore. That's Sunday, April 3rd, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Also hazardous waste. That's like gasoline that you might have in the garage, turpentine, household chemicals, car batteries, fertilizer, if you have any of that left around you're not going to be using. That stuff can go to Bergen Community College. Everybody knows where that is. It's on Paramus Road in Paramus. Sunday, April 10th. They'll be there from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's it. I just wanted to mention also that I was at the Chamber of Commerce meeting last night with Tom. I'm sure he's going to speak about it more than that. And also, don't forget the American Legion has their breakfast on the 3rd Sunday. It's $4 for breakfast down at the American Legion Hall on Legion Place. So give them a little business. The third Sunday of every month. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. In relation to Councilman Castiglia's comments about recycling, if you didn't get all that information that he just gave you, you can call my mayor's office, 201-796-1833. Talk to my secretary, who's also the recycling coordinator, and she can fill you in again on all of that information. All right, it's 201-796-1833. Mr. Boncino will work. Mr. Work?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, the Elmwood Park Health Department will be continuing to offer the free adult consultation and child health care clinics to residents of Elmwood Park. The adult consultation clinic, which includes, consultation with a registered nurse from Hackensack Hospital, and they will also provide free blood pressure screening. The next clinic, adult consultation clinic, will be held on April 19th, which is a Tuesday morning, from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at the private clinic room in the municipal building. The child health clinic, which also includes immunizations for infants up to 18 years old. The next child health care clinics will be held on April 4th, Monday evening from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., and April 7th, which is Thursday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Once again, the Elmwood Park Health Department also continues to offer the 4 free vaccines provided by the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act program at no charge, and that's going to be given out at the next adult consultation clinic. And these vaccines are available to any citizen of New Jersey, regardless if they are covered by insurance or not. And once again, Elmwood Park Health Department is one of the few towns in Bergen County that offers these vaccines in these areas. So, as anybody, you could save possibly between $200 and $300 on this free vaccine. Once again, the flu season is nearly over, but you don't have to look out the window to see winter does not want to go away. Had snow last night, still very cold. We're expecting weather in the 40 degrees. So if you still think you need a flu shot, Elmwood Park Health Department has them available, so stop on down. The charge for the flu shots is $25. And for participants 65 years and older, with proof of Medicare B coverage, you can get it for free. I also wanted to note that the next Elmwood Park homeowners meeting will be held on March 30th, which is next Wednesday. It's in the all-purpose room in the municipal building at 7:30, and the guest speakers will be the candidates for the Elmwood Park Board of Education, So stop on down if you have any questions for the candidates regarding issues with the Elmwood Park School System. Once again, the mayor and council is investigating sharing services with the Board of Health Department with a number of communities at this time, and we are securing numbers, and we will bring these, run them through, and like I said, we have a very tough decision here. But once again, the mayor and council, it's not only a dollar and cents issue, because we have to consider, the services provided by our Board of Health as compared at the town's Board of Health. Basically, we want to be sure they offer the same type of services. Want to make sure it's convenient for the taxpayers of this community, that's the location of the clinics, and also the ability of healthcare, this, department to secure grants. Like I said last year, the Elmwood Park Health Department offers 32 free clinics, one of the few that offers the AAR program in the area, provided services to nearly 700 residents at various clinics, and won an award for excellence from the state of New Jersey, and secured, like I said, nearly $120,000 in grants. And one last note, I would like to congratulate Rob Bruce on his promotion to lieutenant in the fire company #1 of the Elmwood Park Fire Department. Congratulations, Rob. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. Working today and yesterday, had some conversations with our CFO, Roy Rigatano. Although we have already introduced our upcoming budget, it has not yet been finalized. It was only an introduction. That will happen sometime soon. But we continuously work on it to see if we can change it, bring it down even a few dollars more in any way that we can help the residents of Elmwood Park. So that process is ongoing. It seems as more and more as we get closer, more memos are coming out, emails and faxes to municipal CFOs, to things to watch out for in this budget, and more alert notices continue to come. So it's continually working. I've always said it's always a document in progress, and we'll update more as that comes along. On a recreation side point, all of our winter sports are finally coming to close. Basketball playoffs are going on now at the recreation. But with those all coming to an end, would also like to remind everybody, please check your children's backpacks. A lot of great flyers have been coming home and notices. We are really utilizing the new system that we've put in place well over a year ago. It's really a gem. A lot of parents really enjoy it. They go right online. They can register right online. It's really a convenience for them. They can do it at any time, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever. And we also helps us to notify them, hey, your son played or your daughter played soccer last year. They haven't signed up this year. They were in cheerleading last year, cheer camp. They weren't in this year. Helps us really help the parent realize, oops, before I missed, and they're missed out on something. So it's really working out well, where I'm so proud of that system that we put in place. And as the winter sports are coming to an end for our town children, I want to congratulate all of our rec basketball players, both boys and girls. They've worked real hard this season. I'd like to also congratulate all the boys and girls over at St. Leo's as well. They worked real hard. They did really well through their playoffs. The 3rd and 4th grade boys over at St. Leo's made it to the championship. They were losing by 9. At that level, if you've ever seen 3rd and 4th graders, usually a 9-point lead, the game is over. But the boys came back, and they ended up winning that championship, as well as the 5th and 6th grade boys, and all the other teams did very well as well, so I want to congratulate them. I want to thank our liaisons, Mr. Castiglia, Councilman Castiglia, and Scott Cars. They're trying hard to get the ball fields ready for our spring baseball and softball, but you wake up and you find snow on the ground. Thank God by the end of the day, most of it was gone, but it does make it difficult to get the fields ready, but I know they're working hard, and they work very closely together, so thank you to both of them. Regarding last night, myself and Councilman Castiglia attended an initial restart of our Chamber of Commerce. For months now, the mayor and council have been working on sending out some communication, build some more interest. Our Chamber of Commerce had been kind of inactive for a while. We're trying to get it restarted. There was a great meeting last night, great response from the letters that we sent out. A couple of hundred letters went out to all of our local businesses, and they're going to be having another meeting as they get going. And I'm not the liaison. The mayor will appoint somebody, hopefully, to them. But as they are in these initial stages to get the ball rolling again, they've already booked another meeting for April 20th at 7 p.m. And the meeting will be held at the BioReference office They'll be putting postings in the newspaper and so forth. But already, I received today several phone calls from them saying how happy they were to see that the mayor and council is trying to support them and get going again. So I thought it was a home run for everybody, and everyone here should be proud of the fact that we tried to get that ball rolling again. So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Conboy. Mr. Boncino?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps will be having a dedication on their first aid trailer, recognizing the businesses in town that sponsored the acquisition of the trailer. The dedication will be tomorrow, March 25th at 9 a.m. at the Ambulance Corps building on Falmouth Avenue. On April 12th, the New Jersey SEM will be going out to bid for electricity, including street lighting. The strike price being set for the auction is 6% below the current prevailing rates for our utility. Recall last year the strike price was set at 5%. And what's really important is it does include street lighting, which is a significant electrical cost. And finally, just to elaborate on, Councilman Caramagna brought up the sign by the high school. Just to elaborate on that, over the last couple of months, it was brought to our attention of a traffic situation adjacent to the high school on Gilbert Avenue. And after examining the situation over a couple of months, we decided to implement a no left turn from Gilbert onto River Road between the hours of 7:30 and 8:30 a.m. and 2:30 and 3:30 p.m. when school is starting, and at the end of the day at dismissal, and also a no left and right turn from River onto Gilbert during the same times to preclude traffic going the opposite direction up Gilbert Avenue. And it looks like it's going to make a significant improvement on the traffic situation. Now, granted, I know a lot of the issues occurred during the winter months when there was a lot of snow on the ground, but I think this should minimize the amount of two-way traffic on Gilbert during those critical hours. The other thing we're doing with the Board of Education, we're working at 16th Ave School on 16th Ave westbound. Currently, it's no parking. During the school day, we're going to allow parking by permit only to allow some of the teachers to park there and alleviate some of the traffic issues around 16th Ave School. So we've been trying that on a temporary basis, and that seems to be working out okay. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Giblin?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Kazmark and Council, I've been remiss on this. I would like to appoint Anthony Cherto, who for quite a few years has been the alternate on the planning board, and I'd like to appoint him to that position this evening. Secondly, it's a street that's not always traveled, Main Street in Elmwood Park. It's a dead end, and we had a contaminated building on that street, 99 Main Street. The building is down. After I don't know how many years, they finally received some money. They took the building down. I immediately asked when it can be sold so we can get some revenue in, and they said, don't hold your breath, Mayor. By the time we get the contamination cleaned up and everything else, it's going to be years. So the building that they tore down, I was down there a few times, and it really was in bad shape. Once you got into the building, there was hardly any roof on it, and some of the piers that held it up were rusted out and so forth. So that's down. It tells you how long, maybe it's 7, 8, 9 years that they've been talking about that building and taking it down. So state government works slowly. In relation to that, right here at the corner of Market Street and River Drive, you've seen some trucks and bins and barrels there. What they're doing is they're checking the contamination of that area because there used to be a gas station there. I don't want to re-emphasize how slow the government works, but that gas station's been down for about 30 years now, if not longer, and they're going in there now to check contamination. And when I stopped and spoke to one of the fellows, I said, whatever was in there is probably gone by now. So we're spending all that money to check and see if there's any contamination in there. That land is not going to be used for anything but in the future, and this has been going on for 30 years now, or 40 years, they're going to, if you're coming off Route 80 going west, they will keep the lane that goes onto River Road there, and that will be for a right turn only, as if you're going to Fairlawn, and they will make another lane that will go down into the intersection of Market Street and River Drive, only for left turns going toward Garfield. So that intersection will become a 5-lane intersection. And what I'm saying is basically all they'll do is put another road over that land. It's contaminated. You're going to put another road over the land. 30 years it's been sitting there. There's no one's going to be out there unless, God forbid, you get in an accident and you go flying off the road and you happen to have your face next to the ground and your tongue's out and you touch something. I'm only joshing, but really after a while you say, how long do we have to wait for some of this material? So that's going on there. And I don't want to spring this on the council, but I do want to ask. I spoke to some representatives from Markel. They're going to do their spring cleanup on River Road. That's the road on the west side of the Markel complex. They're going to clean that up, and they're going to clean up River Road. And they asked me, is it okay if they clean up in the marina area? And I said, sure. Go down and clean it up. Well, we got a caveat, and they said, we'd like to do it permanently. Can we put a sign up there? It's about 24 by 24. They'll make it and everything else, indicating that the marina is going to be cleaned by Markel Paper Company. So is there any disagreement on that? So I got a call from Scott Cars today. He said they'd like to order the sign and do it. We'll check that all out with them. Okay? That concludes my report, and may I have a motion to open this meeting to the public?
I'll move.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, all in favor, opposed? Anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard, please rise, go to the lectern, give us your name and address.
Daniel Goldbeck, 44 Godwin Ave. I have a couple questions. With the left turn and the right hold, that whole thing, it can't be enforced yet, correct? Technically.
Right, we haven't passed a resolution yet. We're
Okay.
planning to, but we're evaluating it right now.
Okay. And kind of off topic, but to kind of, I have an interest in this. The municipal attorney, is he required to be here? Is it an optional thing for you to ask him to be here at every meeting? I know it really doesn't have much to do with anything, but I'm just curious on that.
We could tell him not to attend. I'm sure he will fight us vigorously.
I would, Mayor.
That he wants to be here. I understand where you're going, and I don't disagree with you, but we keep the attorney here just in case anyone in the audience, anyone comes here and needs a legal...
It's a good point. That's the whole thing I was in with the school board yesterday, because they apparently don't need an attorney at meetings anymore.
Well, let me just continue.
Any more than that?
Stall tactic.
Yeah.
Get back to
The attorney is here. He doesn't get paid any more money for being here. That's number
Okay.
one. Number
All right.
two, if the attorney's not here and someone has a legal question, it wouldn't be big shakes if we just said, listen, we'll get back to you tomorrow and we'll contact the attorney.
Yeah,
So-
okay. And with the whole Board of Education, the budget thing and the whole public hearing yesterday, the whole confusion now with what may be eliminated, I would guess that Mr. Moffett kind of explained it a little wrong, because I even had to call him today after I got out of school, because I know a lot of people had questions, even people who were at the meeting that left the meeting kind of confused with the way he explained it, what maybe the PowerPoint or whatever. So from what I understood with my conversation with him, with the part with courtesy busing and the athletic programs, that's only, and as far as I know, which I'm pretty sure this is because I talked to him today, only if the budget does get defeated. With the 0% tax levy, that, 0%, the budget's going up, the whole budget, but the tax levy that the taxpayers are responsible for is staying at zero. But the part with courtesy busing, the question you asked, Mr. Conboy, is only in the event if it fails and it comes to this body, then you guys would decide whether or not, they have to cut more money. And if you choose to do so, then they would recommend or they would choose that those are the next items in line to be eliminated. So the whole, athletic programs, that's only in the event that this board chooses to make them cut more money if the budget does get defeated. So
If I can comment to you on that, if the budget is defeated, this council can recommend where the money can be cut. This council,
But a dollar amount, correct?
excuse
No,
me,
no, where?
we can tell them where to cut it.
Oh, you can?
Yes.
Okay, so that would be the recommendation they have.
Okay.
I'm just
now,
clearing that up.
In past years, when the budget's been defeated, and we've cut out $1.2 million, $1.4 million at various times, we've given the Board of Education the option of looking through their budget and cutting that amount of money out of the budget. By telling people, if you don't vote for the budget, we're going to take busing out. That's kind of a scare tactic, and it frightens people to vote for the budget. There may be, and we hire an outside auditor, if the budget's defeated. He goes through it, and he can tell us where he thinks the extra money might be, if in fact there is any extra money. So I wouldn't put too much faith in that. If it's defeated, we're going to cut the school busing out. If it's not needed, maybe they should cut the school busing out now. Why hold that over everybody's head? Same thing with, it used to be years ago, we're going to cut out driver ed, and we're going to cut the football team out, and we're going to cut this. And driver ed was the big thing back there. Now we don't even have driver ed in school, but yes, continue, I'm sorry.
But like one of the council made a point, how's the budget going to fail if it's a 0% tax levy increase? It shouldn't. But if it should, I think it would be, highly unfair if the council made a decision to cut even more money than, all the positions that were cut to get to the 0% to kind of, help people out in these times, in these, the rough economic times. So
Sometimes, let me just give you a little history. The budget was defeated a few years ago, and if it's zero increase, I'm in favor of that. It's like getting something for free.
you'll be voting yes on the budget,
There's
right?
nothing like getting it for free. But years ago, the budget was defeated, and we had a member of the Board of Education team come down and meet with us. And one of the questions we asked is there anything in the budget we could cut? And we were told absolutely not. And they said, well, we said, then offer something, anything. And they said, there's nothing that you can cut in the budget that's not going to affect education. We cut $1.2 million or $1.4 million? $1.2 million out of that budget when we were told by members of the education team, there's not a penny extra in it, and the school survived. So you have to look at those things and see where it is. But a zero increase, it sounds good.
Yeah. Like I said, you'll be voting yes on the school budget, right?
Okay.
Right, Mayor?
Okay. I was an educator for many years, and I will vote yes if it's going to keep Mr. Caramagna on staff and keep him away from the municipal building. Anyone else who wishes to be
Unless I run for mayor and make all the money.
Are we going? You going against me again this year?
No, man.
Oh, okay.
So far, no. Maybe, tomorrow I bring up a different
Oh,
subject.
God. We've done it so many times, just rehash the literature. Anyone else who wishes to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion of the meeting.
Mayor, we need to go into executive session, if I could read the resolution.
Okay.
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances. And whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and the governing body wishes to discuss personnel in all departments, along with the possibility of a shared services agreement in the health department, minutes will be kept, and what's the matter involving that confidentiality no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. Mayor, we'll need a motion and a second to go into executive session.
May I have a motion to approve that?
So moved.
So, Mr. Boncino, second. Mr.
I'll
Work, any discussion? All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second by Mr. Boncino. All in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Thank you very much for coming, and again, before we shut it off, if you want to watch this on TV, if you happen to tune in, it's cable channel 7. Tuesday, Thursday, 4 p.m., Friday, 11 a.m., or you can watch it on our web, www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you very much for coming.
And the Sci-Fi Channel.